Hey everyone, welcome back. So today is Tuesday. Cleanspark has provided their, end of year numbers. So we'll take a look at those. We'll take a look at also Bitcoin chart, see what's going on there. We'll take a look at Ethereum as well. We'll take a look at all of the other miners as well. And then we'll deep dive into Cleanspark numbers and my numbers, see how they compare it as far as what I had them mining for Q3, which I guess is their Q4. So let's get into it. All right, so here's Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin is at 48,093. It looks like it is bouncing off of this line that we had in here at 48,000 roughly. And I thought this line was going to get null and void here with it bouncing between it all the time, but now it seems like it's become a resistance line for it here within the last 2 days. So yesterday it topped out over here at the 48,500 mark roughly, and then today the same thing's been battling with it. So we'll just have to keep an eye on it, see how it does. Right now, it looks like, we're not in great shape with Bitcoin. It does look like it wants to come back down further, possibly testing the 44,700 line here that we have as our support. Our current support right now is at 47,000. We'll see if it maintains it. Right now, the trend is just showing us that it's going down. And then if hopefully we can maintain this 44,700 line at the very least. If that doesn't happen, we obviously have to look at the next line, which is our 40,000 mark. So we'll have to see how this plays out. We'll have the Fed is having its minutes tomorrow, I believe, and then we'll get results on Thursday, I think. So we'll keep an eye on that as well and see how this all reacts to those, whether the tapering is going to cease or it's going to slow down, how much it's going to slow down. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. But right now, I think there's just a higher chance of it going down than there is right now of going up, at least in the short term. So we'll have to keep an eye on that one. Let's take a look at Ethereum here. Ethereum is obviously below our support that we had, and it's now become resistant, so we'll have to see how this plays out. So Ethereum is at 3,841. It is obviously down a little bit for today so far. It was up during the day and yesterday. So that was kind of good to see, get a little bounce on it, but we are obviously crossing on the 50-day and the 20-day moving averages as well, which is not a good sign as well. That shows usually a weakness, and a lot of times people sell into weakness like this. So we'll have to keep an eye on Ethereum and see how it does. Now, if we take a look at the mining stocks here really quick, we can see that DMG is down on the day, was down 1%. Riot was actually up 2.3% on the day, just a bounce on it. Mawson was also down 313. After yesterday, it bounced quite a bit, so we'll have to keep an eye on that one, see what happened there. I'm not sure why it's showing me 744. It was down. I think it might have started up higher and went down, but I think that's why we got a green candle here. Marathon was up 1.3%. Hut 8 was down 0.5%. It's up after hours right now. We'll have to see. We obviously have this trend line happening here. We'll see how far it goes down. Right now, it is at the 200-day moving average, so we'll see if we can bounce off of that. Let's see how it plays out going forward. DigiHost right now is obviously below all of the trend lines, the 50-day, 20-day, 100-day, 200 days. It is way below that. It was down 3.5% today to 386. Hive was down 1.45% on the day. It is up after hours, which is kind of good to see, but it is also below its 200 and 150 and 20-day moving averages. Cleanspark obviously reported today. It was up a little bit on the day, but then obviously closed down below it. Was down $1 or down 13 cents, down 1% down. And then Bitfarms obviously is battling with the 200-day moving average, it looks like right now. It is down 1.98% to 496. So we'll see if we can muster the strength in the next couple of days to get above that 200-day moving average, which would be a good sign. All right, so that's all we have right now on miners, Bitcoin, and what's going on. There's not much news. We'll get into Cleanspark. So I have my numbers set up here, but let's take a look at their numbers here really quick. So this is their revenue income. This is the one that I wanted to take a look at. I'm not too worried about the energy hardware, software, and services revenue part of it. It looks like it was pretty flat from a year prior. So they made $9 million on that, and basically the same amount the year prior. Other services was up a little bit, but the big one obviously is the digital mining. So for the year, they provided that they made $38.846 million. I wish they would have broken this down to their last quarter, which was ending in September. 30th. So I had to do some numbers on that. We'll get into the numbers here in a little bit as far as what they actually mined for the fourth quarter, which is their fourth quarter. Some things that I didn't like to see was obviously the payroll expenses went way up. I don't know if they brought in a lot more people. I'm guessing that wasn't the case. I tried to find their head count, couldn't find it. I was able to find some of the explanation for the payroll expenses. We'll look at that as well. But obviously a huge increase from the year prior. Don't like seeing that too much. It's kind of worried. I'm hoping it's a one-time thing. It's worrisome. A little bit they went up that high, even though I know the revenue went up a lot higher. But still, I mean, that's based on the revenue. You're looking at 50% of revenue is payroll expenses. I mean, really? What regular company that's not publicly traded could do that? So don't like seeing that. I would have been okay with a little bit of an increase going up to maybe 9 million, 10 million, but not 25 million. That seems outrageous to me. Let's see, what else do we have here? Total comprehensive loss attributed to common shares was 21.9 million. So it was better than the year prior, which was 23.3 million. And obviously loss per common share, basic and diluted, was 75 cents loss compared to $2.44, which is a good improvement. Obviously would have been a lot better had they not had the huge payroll expense. Weighted average common shares outstanding is 29.4 million compared to 9.5 million. So they obviously issued more shares to get cash to buy more miners. Okay, let's take a look at their payroll expenses here really quick. And there was something else here. Oh, their assets, digital currency. So they have currently 23.6 million, roughly, of Bitcoins in value. Property obviously increased along with equipment to 137.59 million compared to 117,000, which is mostly due to the buildings, the infrastructure, mining equipment, all that. Deposits on mining equipment, so they paid out 87, almost 88 million on mining equipment. So total assets was a huge increase of 317 million compared to 22 million, which is good. Let's see what else. Okay, then we want to go on to page, what is that, 37, I believe? Yep, here we go. So here's the breakdown of the payroll expenses. So those increased to 25.3 million for the year ended September 30th, 2021, from 6.8 million for the same period ended September 30th, 2020. Our payroll expenses for the year ended September 30th, 2021 consisted mainly of salary and wages expenses of 17.6 million and employee and officer stock-based compensation related bonuses of 7.7 million. Our payroll expenses for the year ended September 30th consisted mainly of salary and wage expenses of 4 million. So obviously you can see this is 4 times less basically than this right here. So they went up 4 times, basically 4x in expenses. That's why I think it's a little outrageous, but that's just me. Let me know what you guys think. And then employee officer stock-based compensation was only 2.5 million compared to 7.7, which was 3x higher than the year prior. Not a fan of that. I don't know where you guys stand on that. All right, so let's take a look at my numbers here as far as what I had them mining for the end of September, and we'll call it a day. So let's get back into this sheet here. All right, so here are the numbers. So they unfortunately did not provide any of the numbers for the quarter, so I had to do a little deep dive, look back at the previous 3 quarters to see what they were actually mining for Bitcoin, and then subtract it from the total here that was given for the year. So this is what I came up with. So let's take a look. So December quarter ended with 733,000 for earnings for Bitcoin mining. Then March quarter was at 6.7 million. And then June quarter was at 8.6, almost 8.7 million. And so the total for the 3 months was 16 million roughly. So this is how I calculated, this is my estimated here, 23.59, which is right here. I probably should get this up a little bit higher for you guys. Let's see here. Okay, so like I said, these are my estimates here, right? The 23.5, almost 23.6. Total estimated for the year then would be, right, let me see if I've got this right. T78 would have been 39 million. Yeah, so this is my estimated for the year ending in September. This was 39.6 million. They came in reported at 38.846. So a difference of 851,000. So I was high on it by 851,000. So their actual numbers for September, or September quarter ending, was 22.7 million for, at least that's what it looks like to me, for their Bitcoin mining. So I was off by 3.61%, so that's actually really good. I try to stay within, typically I try to stay below 5%, one way or the other, right? If I can get within 5%, I'm a happy guy. That's pretty close to that number there. So here's what we got him right now at. So this should be at 22.7, so we're not off too far. I think I had these maybe mining for too long, so if we change this out to maybe, I don't know, 1.75, we'll get closer to that number here, 22.9. So we're really close to that 22. Let me see here. Yep. So we'll get to that 22. Well, that changes because I just changed it, so it changed on me. But we're really close to that number right now that they reported. So looking at going into the, I guess this would be their Q1 then, since this is a little strange for me, so we'll change this up here. So this is actually their Q1 starting now that we're in. Let's change this up, Q1, October to December. So this is their Q1. These are the numbers that I have right now for them, based on the information that they provided back a week or two ago, that they bought some more miners. These were the ones that were bought November 19th, 2021. They bought these. I'm not sure as far as when those are going to get installed, but based on the numbers that we do have available to us, we know that they're currently mining at 1.3, which is I think what they also reported in their report today, that currently they're at 1.3, looking to get to about 2 exahash by the end of the month. So if they install these and we get these mining for 0.5, so maybe half a month, this is kind of what we're looking at. So that brings them up to 1.55. This is, let me see, what else do they have scheduled here? These are all scheduled to come in. When are these scheduled to come in here? December. Let me see if we can find anything else here. We got a couple of them here that are supposed to be coming in as well. So if we get these guys in October, November, if we get maybe put these in for 1 and 1 here, 1 month of mining, those actually come in, we would be at 8.49 exahash. So we're really close to that 2 exahash that they're going for. And at the current price of Bitcoin, Bitcoin's actually down. We got it at 50,000. It's actually 48,000. So if we update the setting on that to 48,000, 48,500, it's right around there. Cleanspark, we got them at roughly 35,200,000 for the Q1 for the end of this year, which ends in December, which would be obviously an improvement over Q4 for them. So this is just where I'm at right now with it. So based on those numbers, and we're looking at everything being equal, I mean, this is pretty close, I think. 1.849, I mean, we could possibly add another one here that was due in December. What do we have here? November, there was one due in here. So we got that one mining for a month. That would get us up to not much. That would, 8.78. Yeah, so we really need these guys down here, which is the bigger volume. If we get these guys in for another month, we could be closer to that 2 exahash that they, So that would give us a 2 exahash. So based on that, we would be at 36.8 million, roughly, if the price of Bitcoin stays where it's at. Obviously, we know Bitcoin's not going to stay where it's at. It's either going to go down a little bit more or it's going to go up. But right now, just looking at the numbers, we're looking at 36.8. And I update these quite often just to get a better understanding of where the price could be on the shares for Cleanspark. All right, so now looking at all of these numbers that we have, I still have them at, at 50% discount from gross revenue at about $20 per share with the price earnings of 20. And if we're looking at 75% net on gross revenue, we're looking at 30.91. And obviously it goes up from here when Bitcoin reaches 100,000, 150,000, 200,000. So based on the numbers right now, the current stock price, if we update this, let me see here, data refresh all, it's at 12.11 right now. It's obviously way undervalued from where I think it should be. And I think a lot of that is based on Bitcoin, where Bitcoin is right now. That is obviously having a bigger impact on the mining stocks than it really should. But as Bitcoin falls down, people are selling off, panicking, and things like that. And we've seen Bitcoin's down 30-some%. These guys are down 50, 60%. So it's kind of par for the course, obviously. So be mindful of that. Bitcoin starts going back up, these guys are going to be going up. You know, Bitcoin goes up 5%, these guys are going to go up 10, 15%. So that's kind of where it's at right now. But right now it's undervalued in my opinion. So we'll have to see where things end up. Let me know what you guys think of the numbers. Obviously, there's a lot of data here. And I kind of stumbled through it a little bit here. Just trying to get all the thoughts out of my head. So let me know what you guys think. Obviously, always appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much for that. If you do enjoy this content, please subscribe, hit the like button, notification bell, all the usual stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Hopefully we'll have a better day with Bitcoin. It is kind of daunting that it's going down every day. And it's kind of like you're looking at it going redder and redder and redder. It's tough. So I'm with you guys. I want it to go back up. It's always funner when it's going back up instead of going down. So that's it. Have a great day, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Until then,